So recently I was asked by my boy MV, not a paid actor, in the comments, if I can make Brambleghast work in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. He said, "Can you use Brambleghast? Need to get the Chinese government off my trail. Noish video." Now this really reminded me of the Vespiquen video that I did back during BDSP, where I didn't want to do a full Showdown live showing off the Pokemon and hoping it put in work, but actually find some replays of me on the ladder of Brambleghast destroying the ladder. So that's exactly what I did. I am on the high ladder. I'm about 1800s on this account. My opponent in this first game is in the 1900s. So we're pretty high up on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet OU, which I hope I didn't say Sword and Shield before. If you guys do like this type of content, please let me know. We'll be showing off some cool replays, and also let me know some Pokemon that you'd like to see me use as well. Some Pokemon I just don't want to show off in full videos because sometimes they just suck. In like the span of a video, right? If you're competing with a bunch of high tier Pokemon, sometimes you're just not going to put in work. But other times you get those rare, beautiful games where this Pokemon is just a hidden gem. And honestly, this game right here versus Velvet, a good player, is just that game. And subscribe if you guys like this content too. Thank you for 314,000 subscribers. So I got this team from my boy Stormzone. It'll be on my website, pokeaimMD.com. It has Lead Annihilate, Booster Energy Iron Treads, Choice Band Baxcalibur, Choice Band Brambleghast, Sub, Nasty Plot, Chi-Yu, and then Dragon Dance Dragonite. My opponent, very threatening team, but the combination of Ghost and Grass is very, very strong. Now, Brambleghast has base 115 attack and a base 90 speed tier. Base 115 attack is pretty freaking nice, man, but unfortunately, they don't give it Poltergeist or Anchor Shot, kind of like, you know, how Dhelmise has. They did give it the speed, but they just didn't give it a good Ghost physical move. However, in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we obviously have Terra Blast and Terastallization. So if you Terra Ghost, you have that strong physical Ghost move as long as you are, you know, using physical EVs. So let's start it off. I'm gonna lead off with my Lead Annihilate, but Stealth Rock, Taunt type of thing as they lead off with Great Tusk. I'm gonna go for Stealth Rock as opposed to taunting the first turn, and then I can taunt after. That way they can't get up Stealth Rock. They did manage to hit me twice, which means that my Rage Fist is going to be doing more than obviously a Final Gambit. So I go for that. I get off 60% on Great Tusk, and that is amazing because now I can bring out the GOAT. Running Jolly on this thing means I am faster than Great Tusk, and look at their team. They don't even know what this thing does, man. It's a tumbleweed. They don't even know if this is Pokemon. It could just be some dirt on the ground. But I'm going to bring it out, and I'm going to go right for... And this is the most beautiful turn in all of Pokemon. That's Tinglu. That mon does not die to any one hit in competitive Pokemon. Nope. They call me Brambleghast with the Choice Band Power Whip. Jolly Nature completely picking up the first KO. Turn 4 on a Tinglu. That is... like, whew. So this giant threat is coming out next. Now, Champao is pretty nasty. It's boots, though, so it's a little bit easy to deal with. I got to my Chi-Yu here as they go for the Terra Crunch, and I basically bluffed that I'm Choice Scarf. I'm not. Champao's a giant threat to this team. Now, they do Terra Dark there, and that was a really good play because I have no Dark switchings on my team anyway, right? My resist just took 60%. But I do bluff the Choice Scarf, and what I decide to do here is to double out into Baxcalibur, anticipating them to want to go out to Dondozo, expecting the Choice Scarf Flamethrower. And now, my Baxcalibur is Choice Band, so my thought process was, all right, I'm going to go for the Glaive Rush, do as much as I can, and then ideally 2-hit KO. And if that doesn't work out, then I can just put it in range of Dragonite or Force Arrest. Turns out they are Arrest, unfortunately. I could have also Terra Dragon here to knock them out. That might have been the better play, but you'll see why later, that it's cool that it didn't work out that way. So they end up being Sleep Talk. They do Sleep Talk the Body Press, so I lose my Baxcalibur before I can go out into my Brambleghast. I just want to make sure they were Sleep Talk, you know, because I've also seen Body Press Rest Curse Wave Crash and Body Press Rest Talk that. So they do Sleep Talk the right move right there. Literally the right move. Like, no other attack would have killed me. And then I'm going to bring out my Brambleghast. Now, right here, I'm looking at the team. I'm like, you know what? The grass move is so obvious. Let me predict them to want to go Golden Go and Terra into my Ghost type. That way I actually have a good Ghost type move that's not Shadow Sneak. And then Terra Blast and completely blow back the Pokemon again. This Pokemon so far has come out and knocked out a Pokemon twice at 94%. Tinglu, the one that doesn't die, and Golden Go, one of the most annoying Pokemon and most used in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Champao comes out. We're going to go out into my Chi-Yu. Now, the good thing about this Champao is because it is not Life Orb or Choice Band, it cannot knock out Iron Treads in one hit. So I can go out to my Iron Treads and just threaten it right now because I have the speed boost and go for Earthquake. I just need a little bit of damage on them. That way I can knock them out with Extreme Speed from Dragonite. They do end up sacking their Great Tusk here as they go out to Dondozo. Now, I decide to just throw off an Earthquake because Yes, they do have a chance with Sleep Talk to pull the hit, but if they don't, and I somehow manage to 2-hit KO, which is crazy that I even thought I'd 2-hit KO this Mon at that percentage, I can still end up at full HP, and then I can try and Dragonite's up with my Dragonite in order to deal with them. But they end up Sleep Talking the rest, which is fine. We're going to make the Brambleghast play right here, as they do wake up and rest, and no way you let me kill you, right? No way you let me kill you, because if you lose this Mon, you're going to lose to Iron Treads, because it could just get damage off on Chien-Pao, and then I just chip this thing as well. So I bring out Brambleghast again, and much like it's done before, every single time Brambleghast comes in, a Pokemon dies. So I predict them to want to go out into Dragapult here. I Terra Blast Ghost, and Dragapult goes clean down. And this is beautiful, right? Because now what I can do is I can bring out my Dragonite, which shouldn't die through Multiscale because we know they're not Choice Band. And they're Terra Dark, so they're not Terra Ice, so they can't kill me through the Multiscale. They go for Crunch, and all I got to do is go for the Extreme Speed, and Extreme Speed puts them in range of Earthquake from Iron Treads. And again, they can't kill me in one hit. So we're going to bring out the Iron Treads, and this is going to be some 50-50s here, because obviously Earthquake here is always my play. Now, it's 50-50s of whether they're going to switch back into Chien-Pao, expecting me to go Brambleghast to get my kill, because if I do that, and they stay in and I click Power Whip, they die. And that's the end of Dondozo, and also the end of the game, because all I got to do is click Power Up again, and I end up killing Chien-Pao. Or I can just go out into the Iron Treads and win anyway. So I go for Earthquake here, because they also have to Sleep Talk an attack to beat me too. And they get a little bit unlucky again by Sleep Talking the rest. So 2 Sleep Talk, my Behemoth was really good in front of this thing. I'm not going to lie. It was definitely good. However, you could say the exact same thing. Like, they got the Body Press versus my Baxcalibur, which you know, it could have been good with Ice Shard Chip and whatnot, or just clicking Glaive Rush again just to get Dondozo weakened. But instead of switching out to Brambleghast, which my opponent is expecting me to do this turn, to then just kill it with Chien-Pao, I call their Chien-Pao switch this turn, as they do, and I end up going for the Earthquake again, knocking out Chien-Pao, and basically sealing the game for my Brambleghast, because I can go hard into it right now, because there's nothing Dondozo can go through. Even if it crits me, there's absolutely nothing it can go for. Bring it out, land this Power Whip, and we have won the first game versus Velvet, where Brambleghast, you see how they were, I got to 1800 with this game, they were 1938. Brambleghast killed Golden Go from full, killed Tinglu, killed Dragapult, and killed 4 KOs. 4 KOs with Brambleghast in this first game versus a high ladder opponent. Now, obviously, I know Rest Talk definitely mattered, but I mean, that's it's luck regardless, right? You're pulling it regardless. Even if it's more your favorite, it's still luck regardless. And you got the Body Press versus Baxcalibur. But who the hell cares, right? Because I bopped them with this Tumbleweed. Now, we got another game. This is a little bit earlier on the ladder, but I was just testing out the Brambleghast team for the first time, because I'm coming at you with 2 games. I got to come at you with 2 games this time. So, very threatening, very similar team. They got Azu, they got Breloom, they got Chi-Yu. I'm very weak to that. There's definitely some luck in this game too. So yeah, very big threats on this team. Azu, Chi-Yu, a lot of priority. Very similar though. I'm always going to lead off with Annihilate. If it's lead Annihilate, they lead Chi-Yu. They're scared about me either not knocking me out if they're Scarf, or if they're Specs, me tearing and destroying them. So I go right for Stealth Rock, and then I immediately Final Gambit onto Great Tusk. Now, they do get up Stealth Rock here, which kind of sucks, because while I do have Rapid Spin on my Iron Treads, I have Curse on this Brambleghast's last move. And there were some games where it was so freaking fire, and I think I might end up showing you guys that game as well. But I bring out my Iron Treads here. Sorry, I just keep getting interrupted. Get my booster energy, so I'm faster than everything on the team. I go for Rapid Spin. They predict that. Go Golden Go. But unless they were on a balloon, it doesn't really matter. And if they want to Terra here into their fighting type, I'm completely fine with that, right? That just means you don't have a Ghost type, and that makes my Dragon Dance Dragonite's endgame even easier. But they make a very good double right back out into Great Tusk to die to Stealth Rock. That way I cannot Rapid Spin. Very good denying of Rapid Spin there. And then they make an even greater play here. They go Chien-Pao. Now, greedy me is like, okay, if I get the Rapid Spin off, like they're either Life Orb or Choice Band, right? Because they're not heavy duty boots because they took Stealth Rock damage. Very greedy me, very, very greedy Joey, is like, okay, if I Rapid Spin and I get that chip off at Rapid Spin, I get rid of Stealth Rock, which is great for the rest of my team. And also, they die to Extreme Speed anyway from Dragonite. So this is a win-win for me. But my opponent predicts the life out of me and Terra Ghost here to block the Rapid Spin and then knock me out with the Life Orb Sacred Sword. Extremely good play on my opponent's part. Now, I'm in a bad position right here, right? I bring out Baxcalibur. because I can at least threaten them with the prospect of a Terra, but also I mainly just want to get off a Choice Band Ice Shard to do a good chunk to Chien-Pao. That way it eventually dies, so my Brambleghast can beat the rest of their team. So they do switch out into Golden Go here, obviously hella predicting me, and I make the Chi-Yu play. I get very fortunate here by dodging a Focus Blast. It definitely mattered. Definitely mattered. Dodge a nice little Focus Blast there. It's Focus Blast, Focus Miss for a reason, but you know, it's Pokemon. So I bring on my Brambleghast on the next Focus Blast, and I go for a Power Whip because Choice Band Power Whip, it OHKOs Azu, it 2KOs Breloom, it smashes Chien-Pao, and it also smashes Chi-Yu. Like, it's 115 base attack. So I miss on the Chi-Yu. I mean, I didn't deserve to hit, to be honest. I really didn't deserve to hit because I missed the Focus Blast, and especially because I'm able to make this turn 10 play. So I go out to my Chi-Yu here on the Dark Pulse. Turns out they are Spectacles. They don't get the roll, or is that Specs? I don't remember if that's the damage. Yeah, that's Specs. Yeah. They're Specs, and I end up winning the second speed tie, putting them at 1% right there. And it gets, what I can do now is just go out to my Dragonite and click Extreme Speed and KO them. This obviously lets Azu come in if it really wants to. And this is where it gets a little bit fun because what I do here is I Terra Fire. Now, Terra Firing in front of an Azu might seem like a dumb play, but this is Belly Drum Azu, and Belly Drum Azu can't always touch Dragonite without Aqua Jet. So I'll live Play Rough. I resist Play Rough through Multiscale, and I'll live Aqua Jet after that as well. So I Terra Fire to Dragon Dance up. As they go for Play Rough, as you can see, they do absolutely nothing because I resist that. And then what I can do after is, like I said, tank that Aqua Jet, go for an Earthquake here to bring them to their Citrus Berry, and then just end up going for the Extreme Speed. And this Extreme Speed is very, very important because what ends up happening now, got interrupted by the mail, but I can go out to Brambleghast, click Shadow Sneak, and knock them out there. They bring out Chien-Pao. So my only hope is that they have Sucker Punch, and that I can bring out Baxcalibur, and then try and outplay it. But I go out to Baxcalibur here because then I could just Ice Shard, right? But they end up going for Crunch, and I'm like, this is kind of interesting. Start rubbing my hands because there is one set of Chien-Pao that could lose right here, and that is Swords Dance, Sacred Sword, Crunch, Ice Spinner, or Icicle Crash with the Terra Ghost. That way Dragonite can't Revenge kill it, and yeah, there's things like that. So I'm like, okay, let me just click Choice Band Shadow Sneak. Bop! No priority move comes out. They die. Golden Go. Because of that Ice Shard from earlier, bop! Golden Go dies. And Breloom, I happen to resist every attack it can go for. So I go for Shadow Sneak. It is a solid 2-hit KO after Stealth Rock. Does not matter about the speed drop because I'm a Ghost type, so they can't Mach Punch me. And Brambleghast wins the game. This Mon, man. This Mon. Just incredible. Just incredible. Now, I want to show you this last game because my moveset on Brambleghast is Power Whip, Terra Blast, Shadow Sneak, and Curse. Rapid Spin is something you can run, Spikes is something you can run, but let me show you why I run Curse. The idea is that if my opponent has an annoying Pokemon like a Garganicle, or Garganacci as my friends say, or Curse Dondozo, or just basically setup Pokemon that are just really annoying, or fat Pokemon that are very annoying, or King Gambit, I can use Curse because I'm a Ghost type. I sacrifice half my HP and it lays a Curse on them, doing 25% per turn. And you'll see right here why it comes into play. This was a little bit lower on the ladder where I first started using the Brambleghast, but let's start it off. Very similar to before. Lead off with Iron Hands. I lead off with Annihilate. I'm just going to get Stealth Rock here just to chip away at them as they go for Thunder Punch. And then what I'm going to do now is just Rage Fist for the damage. As they end up going for the Swords Dance, and I can just Final Gambit after, do a good chunk. Basically, had they attacked me twice, Rage Fist did just slightly more than Final Gambiting immediately. As you can see, it only did 48%, whereas Rage Fist would have done just slightly more if they hit me because the first one did 20, but that was at 100 base power. It did 24, so it would have done more at 150 base power, obviously. So we bring out Baxcalibur. They have no Icicle Crash switches really with Stealth Rock up, so I go right for Icicle Crash. As my opponent is a demon and brings out Great Tusk, I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to go for this Icicle Crash anyway. They're probably not going to Rapid Spin. They might knock off. I thought they knock off, to be honest, expecting Brambleghast to block the Rapid Spin. But it works out anyway because their Fizz Def do 10 million% to me, but it doesn't matter because I kill them, and that means my rocks are here to stay. King Gambit comes out right now, and I decide to stay in. Now, the reason I decide to stay in is because if they do some sort of SD into Terra Fly stuff, that doesn't matter because I have Substitute on Chi-Yu, so I can avoid the Sucker Punches, and I want to get damage to, again, if they end up Terastallizing to a Flying type, put them in range of Dragonite, put them in range of Brambleghast or Shadow Sneak, things like that. So, and because I always have the Curse in the back, so I just keep going for Icicle Crashes there. They SD up again because they know they can kill Chi-Yu, with +4 plus the Fallen. So I'm like, okay, let me just go this thing, because there's no way they don't click Sucker Punch here, considering they'll be at like 25%. So I make the hard into Chi-Yu play, which might have been a choke admittedly. And then we reveal these substitutes. So I get a nice and free Flamethrower off, unless my opponent wants to Terra. They end up bringing out Iron Moth, as opposed to going Tinglu, because you'll find out that Tinglu is actually a really cool set. But Flamethrower into the Dark Pulse easily knocks out Iron Moth. Then Big Tinglu comes out. What I decide to do here is go right out into my Brambleghast, and this dude is Choice Band. Now, Tinglu does have, I think, base 105 or base 115 or base 110 attack. It's one of those, right? It has a really strong attack stat. So, Choice Band is something I've actually been wanting to explore, more offensive options, since everybody uses it defensively. But it doesn't matter now, right? Because I can just click Power Whip. I don't care about the resistances in the back. I knock out Tinglu. Another Tinglu going down at 94% as they bring out the King Gambit. And again, SD is definitely a good play. They have 4 Fallen, so they're boosted 1.4 times, and they have the +2 attack. I end up bringing out Brambleghast again because they're definitely going for Sucker Punch, and this is where I reveal the really cool tech in Curse. And because I laid a Curse on them and die, they're going to be taking damage turn per turn. They're going to be taking 25% turn per turn. I can safely bring out Chi-Yu and sub twice if they want to attack, and then they eventually die on the 3rd turn. So we sub right here as they bring out Magneton. They're just using some really cool Pokemon. Scarf Magneton is faster than Scarf Magnezone, and it still traps Corviknight, which obviously helps out King Gambit. But at this point, I can safely just click Flamethrower in front of King Gambit. I decide to click Sub though first because I'm a little demon. But I also had Dragonite and Multiscale, so it always KO'd regardless. And again, this was a little bit lower on the ladder when I first started off using it, but you got to see the utility of Choice Band, you got to see Shadow Sneak putting in work, and you also just got to see Curse being really, really cool on Brambleghast as well, just to help out versus things like King Gambit. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you are new, as I upload Pokemon Scarlet and Violet competitive content every single day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.